It's been a really long time. I can't even start the intro.
I don't even know what this podcast is about anymore.
You're such a... Wow. It's been that long. Okay.
It's been very long. I miss it.
Yeah, so do I. Anyway, hello and welcome to Labyrinth of the Bizarre, a podcast where we discuss, review, and analyze speculative fiction such as horror, apocalyptic, dark fantasy, and other subgenres. My name is Elia. My pronouns are they, them.
I'm Andrea, and my pronouns are she, her.
And in this episode, we'll be talking about Pokémon Detective Pikachu. Detective Pikachu is a family fantasy movie based on the hit Japanese franchise Pokémon. In this film, ace detective Harry Goodman goes mysteriously missing, prompting his 21-year-old son, Tim, to find out what happened. Aiding in the investigation is Harry's former Pokémon partner, Detective Pikachu, finding that they are uniquely equipped to work together, as Tim is the only human who can talk with Pikachu. They join forces to unravel the tangled mystery. When Pokemon started in 1996, there were 151 Pokemon, but 25 years later, it has built up to 898. In Detective Pikachu, there were only 54 shown, but I am so excited for future live-action Pokemon movies because they're just going to keep adding on, and I'm so excited to see all my favorite Pokemon on screen.
Wait, they're gonna make more movies?
Yes, they are. I am patiently waiting. I don't think they are going to be like continuing Detective Pikachu, but they are going to be making more live action. So I'm excited for that.
So some behind the scenes representation in the actors is Justice Smith, which is a gay black man, and I love him and I adore him.
Yes, me too. I love him so
Justice
much.
Smith.
Oh my god, and his Instagram handle is like so perfect. It's Stand Up for Justice, and I'm like, oh my god.
Oh my
so
god.
fucking good.
Oh my gosh, I love him. Ever since what's that one show?
The Get Down.
The Get Down.
Same.
I miss it.
That's when I followed him too.
And then there's Ken Watanabe, who's Japanese. A few trigger warnings for the film. Parent death is a main plot point. And then there's a Pokemon called Psyduck, who gets migraine and anxiety attacks throughout the film. And then there's the ableist trope of somebody with a disease or disability being a villain because they don't accept and are angry about their circumstances.
Alrighty. Okay. So.
Wait, what is this black box?
Oh, usually that's where we have our problematic segment, but I couldn't find anything on anyone, like in the main cast anyway, so I was like, oh wow,
nice.
For once we don't have to do this. So Rea.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me your history and introduction to Pokemon.
I have no history and no introduction to Pokemon other than this movie. Well, that's a lie.
Dropped. Yeah, I'm like, that is such a lie. Tell me the cultural influence, even if it's very, very minimal.
Okay, so basically my parents taught me that the Pokemon franchise was the devil.
No way!
So I was not allowed to play, watch anything. Like, I remember one time I wanted to ask for a Pokemon game, and I told my mom that I wanted to play with Pikachu, and she got really mad.
Oh my god, I really thought maybe you would have been, like, around Pokemon because you have older siblings. And, like, I assumed that they would like it.
No, I think the most anybody in my family likes it is my brother may have watched a bit of the anime.
Interesting. Wow.
But then another brief introduction was that an ex of mine made me pick one of the 3 main, I guess, starter Pokemon, and I picked one, and I don't know what that means. I just picked one.
Was it Charizard?
I don't know, probably. I don't know their names.
Describe it to me, I guess.
It was on fire.
Wow, very
That's
descriptive. Right, so in every generation, I think there's like 8 generations of Pokemon right now. In every generation, there's like 3 starters, and it's always like grass, water, and fire. So you saying starter fire Pokemon, I'm like, okay.
But basically, that's it. Like, I know it's been around my entire life, and people love fucking Pokemon. And I always felt like kind of left out, but I never knew how to enter the world of Pokemon until Detective Pikachu.
No, yeah, it's very funny that you're like, I don't know how to enter this franchise just because there's like so many different things within this franchise. It's kind of overwhelming. But like, yeah, I didn't grow up necessarily with Pokemon. Like, I knew of them and I was in love with the idea of Pokemon and having them as companions because I was like, oh my god, what if I had Pokemon and they were like my best friend, you know, like that sort of thing. So I was in love with the idea of them. I also had like the official handbook and I would stare at them and like draw them because that's how I practiced my art skills. But it wasn't until a few years later that I actually started playing Pokemon games. I've only played 2, which isn't a lot, but it was Pokemon Diamond and Pearl and then Pokemon Black and White. And then I also got like the first Pokemon movie and the VHS of the first episode of the Pokemon series because I visited like this family friend and they were like mid-20s and they were like, I don't really watch this anymore. And I was like, can I have it? And they said yes. So I like have that. I don't think I have the VHS anymore. I think I donated it, which is a stupid mistake on my part. So I wasn't really into Pokemon like as much, but I saw it often enough where I fantasized and thought of it a lot, I guess. I just like love the idea of Pokemon, and there's just like so many endless ideas that I had as a child thinking about living in a world where I could interact and be friends with Pokemon. You know, like there's just so much like daydreaming material
like so
as a
much
child.
fun.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yes, and then I also watched this movie in theaters with a friend of mine and their like kid brother, and oh my god, and it was opening day too, so there was like all these kids. Aww. And I was like, this is so good. I kind of went to watch that movie just because I was like, oh my god, Pokemon, it looks good, they look great. I'm not expecting a good movie, and then it was really fucking good, and I'm just, oh my god, now I just love this movie so much. So yeah, I really love this movie. Rhea, what are your overall thoughts on Detective Pikachu?
I enjoyed it a lot. Surprisingly, I wasn't expecting to like it at all, if I'm honest.
Oh,
just because I don't have the attachment to Pokemon like other people. I was like, I'm probably not going to enjoy this as much as other people because I'm not going to understand any references. I'm not going to understand what's going on. Nothing. But I enjoyed it a lot.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
It was fun.
No, yeah, I think it did a really good job in terms of not heavily depending on audience knowledge on Pokemon. I think it was a pretty good introduction to Pokemon for people who aren't familiar with it. But yeah, like I knew you would like it. I think I knew you would at least like the Pokemon. Like even if you didn't like the movie, yeah, I knew you would like the Pokemon.
They're so cute. Like the first thing that caught my eye in the movie was like the first Pokemon they showed, and I was like, yes,
oh, Cubone,
you're adorable.
Yeah, like,
and then it had its mom's skull as a hat, and I couldn't stop laughing.
Oh, yeah. Cubones wear the skull of their dead parent. It's very depressing.
But I'm like, it is depressing, but I was laughing. I was like, that's the funniest shit ever. Who comes up with that?
Oh, wait until you find out about more Pokemon. You're gonna think they're so fucking weird. No, yeah, because whenever Rhea and I watch things, we don't tell each other our reactions to things. So, like, immediately, like, 5 minutes into the movie, Rhea was, like, spam texting me, and they couldn't tell me why, but I was like, I bet it's Cubone because they just are so cute.
It was like, Cubone.
Yeah. They're so cute, and, like, probably, I guess, like, the skull hat kind of resembles dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like dinosaurs. Rhea probably likes the dinosaurs.
There's a lot of dinosaur
looking
ones that are flames. And I was like, yeah, fire types or whatever they're called. Mm-hmm. And I was like, they're so cute and they're orange.
Yes.
And it's my favorite color. And it's
There was a Pokemon Totodile, and it looks a lot like a dinosaur, and it was in the train scene where Tim is like watching a video from Howard Clifford, and there's like a very short clip of that, and it looks a lot like dinosaurs, and I was like, Maria probably didn't see it, but
I did not.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, it was really brief, but I was like, oh my god, it looks a lot like a dinosaur. I bet Rhea would like this Pokemon.
I want to go look at it.
Okay, well, So let's talk about the characters in this movie. The first one is Tim Goodman, played by
We
Justice
love him.
Smith.
He's a good boy.
I think so too. I really love his journey as a character because he goes from someone who is very withdrawn socially and emotionally to like opening up and embracing Pokemon again. And I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna cry.
Especially when you see his childhood room and you saw how much he loves it and you're like, ah, go back to Pokemon, please, Tim.
Yeah, I really love his arc. I'm probably going to speak about it more later, but I just really enjoyed his character. And like I really love Justice Smith and Ryan Reynolds' chemistry. I think the acting is so good with the two of them together, especially knowing that like the two of them weren't on set when they recorded because, you know, Ryan is a fucking Pikachu, so he's probably just like in a recording studio. But like they pulled it off really well, and I love the chemistry between the two of them.
It's still very weird that it was Ryan Reynolds to me.
Yeah, I was just about to ask, how did you think about Detective Pikachu being played by Ryan Reynolds?
It felt so weird. I wanted a cute voice. I wanted the Pika Pika stuff.
You didn't like
Every
it?
time we would see a Pikachu that would be an actual Pikachu and it would say Pika Pika, I would die. That's the cutest shit ever. And then we have Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Who's a coffee addict, which is like, okay, I understand the character. I am also drinking coffee right now.
I think that yes, I agree. Yeah. But I think him playing Pikachu was a good choice for like the talking bits. I was a little off put just because Ryan's kind of, he's known for his vulgar humor, and I was like, I don't know how this is gonna fit in a kids movie when he's playing a fucking Pikachu.
It worked, but it was weird. Like, it works.
It does work.
There's no critiques you can make. It's just awkward thinking that it's Ryan Reynolds.
Well, he did say yes to it because he wanted a movie that his kids could actually watch.
Oh, yeah. Makes sense.
I also wanted to point out that Detective Pikachu is utilized as like a writing tool to communicate and clarify information for the audience. Like in the car scene where Tim asks Lucy who the person in the newspaper clipping is, and the Detective Pikachu is like, I bet this is the doctor that the shirtless guy was talking about. And then Lucy explains who the doctor is and what she does. And Pikachu does this a lot, pointing out like the obvious to clarify information for the audience. And because of the personality of this Pikachu, and it's Ryan Reynolds who typically talks a lot in his roles, it comes off very natural and not blatant explanations to the audience, which is very annoying in movies. And also, none of what Pikachu says plays a role in passing information to characters who don't actually hear him, which is also very important for story continuity, because I find that really annoying when like we know stuff because we can hear Pikachu, but it's like other characters shouldn't be able to have that information as well, you know? So I find that really annoying, but I'm glad that they were very careful about that when writing the script for this movie.
Back to the other point you made.
Yes.
There was no point throughout the film that I felt they were info dumping on me, which was really nice because I still learned a lot about the Pokemon universe. And there was no moment that I felt like somebody was lecturing me about Pokemon and everything that I missed out my entire life.
Yes. Oh my god.
It was really good.
Yes. Oh my god. I really okay, this movie so fucking great. So fucking great, dude. I am very curious what you thought of Lucy Stevens.
Lucy. She is a character that I perceived. I don't hate her, but I don't love her either.
Yeah, when she's first introduced, the first time I watched this movie, and her very first scene on the staircase, I was like, what?
I was so annoyed.
I was like, what is this character? I was very off-put because it was like the only woman lead actor in this movie, and I was like, why is she written this way?
Basically, around the first half of the movie, I did not like her at all. Like, She was so fucking annoying. Everything about the characterization of her makes a character that I don't like. Add the fact that she's a white character, I was like, okay, no. At the end, she warmed up to me a little, but I still don't love her. Like, I would 100% rather see just him. But I do like that. She's a comedic character, which a lot of love interests aren't allowed to be, which is fun.
Yeah, I definitely warmed up to her immediately, and I understood what the writers were trying to do when I watched it a second time. Because, yeah, I didn't like her dialogue when we're first introduced to her, and, like, you know, character introduction is very important. But I realized, like, oh, so basically, in Pokemon games, you battle random trainers throughout the world, and they have really silly and extravagant personas, and they're very dedicated to playing that bit. Okay, so Lucy is very dedicated to being a mysterious investigative journalist, like she's living in a movie, and that's like a joke. Like they were aware of that, and it's a persona that she's trying to have, but like she obviously fails at it. But it's like really dorky and cute, and I love that about her. As a child, I know that she's like an adult and she's working at a news company, but like, you know, like when you're a kid and you watch a movie and you're like, oh my god, I love this character. They're so over the top and stereotypical and very into a specific character trope. And then you like sort of imitate that dialogue and pretend to act like them, but obviously that doesn't translate well in the real world. And that's kind of what Lucy Stevens is. And I just like that younger part of me like just like connected with her when I realized that's what they were trying to do with her character.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
You explained it well.
Thank you. I was like, did I make sense? I don't know. How did you think of Psyduck, especially because Psyduck is one of the main Pokemon characters who doesn't have a speaking role?
Okay, so
oh god.
I like Psyduck.
Really?
I do, but if he was my Pokemon, I would be really mad. I would not want him at all. I would be so stressed. But Psyduck being Lucy's Pokemon, now that's funny.
Yes, I agree. I thought he was so annoying. Like, oh my god. I like probably on like my fourth watch, I was like, okay, you're fine now. But I really did not like him for such a long time.
I feel like he was intentionally made annoying, of course, but like I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was so funny when he was having his little panics and he's like, Psyduck. And it's just like, oh my god, please.
I couldn't.
And then all his interactions with Pikachu, and Pikachu's so like, shut up.
So
shut
funny.
up. Calm down. And I like that they're having like this little conversation, Psyduck and Pikachu, and Tim and Lucy are unaware of it. They're like, I don't know what's going on.
Or Tim does understand because of Pikachu, but like...
He understands Pikachu, but not Psyduck.
Yeah, so he's kind of just like eavesdropping from one person, and he's like trying not to indicate to other humans that he can understand what they're saying.
I do think that the amount of Psyduck that there was in the film was good. Any more would have been fucking annoying. Like, seriously.
Oh,
annoying.
yeah.
Oh my god.
And I'm glad that he actually played a role in the story, particularly in the scene later on that we'll talk about. But like, he wasn't just there to be annoying and for comedy.
I'm glad that they showed that scene of him using his powers, because I seriously thought he just exploded. I thought he was just gonna explode,
gore?
And I was like, no wonder they're so concerned. He's gonna explode and die.
Oh my god!
And then when I saw the scene,
this is so funny from a non-Pokemon fan. You thought he was gonna like Roman Sionis
like his head was gonna explode.
Oh my god,
he was gonna explode.
Funny. That's so funny.
And so I was so nervous. I was like, what if he dies? Like, what if this is a sad moment in the movie when Psyduck dies? And then I saw his power and I was like, oh, okay.
Okay, going back to the characters. Howard Clifford, who is the main villain of the story, as a character, I found him not compelling at all, but he plays his part in the story good enough. But yeah, just not a very good character.
I like to be convinced by villains, but his purpose wasn't convincing at all.
Mm-hmm. And also, Lieutenant Yoshida, I'm just really disappointed that one of the biggest franchises from Japan, and they're like making their first live action movie, doesn't have more Asian characters in it. You know, I was like,
there's only one.
Yeah, And it was such a minor role, and I was really disappointed by that.
I thought he was going to become more involved in that scene where he gets all serious and he's like, Tim, I didn't want to show you this. And I was like, okay, it's getting good. And it's like, oh, now you're gone again.
Yeah. I actually thought he was going to be the main villain.
Me too.
Yeah, because there's...
That moment was
yes.
very evil looking.
Yes, I agree. I was like, are they implying it this early in the movie already? It's the scene where Tim first meets Lieutenant Yoshida, and there's just this awkward pause where he stares at Tim while he walks away, I think. Or maybe there's a different moment in that scene. But I just got this, like, evil person vibe, and I was like, what?
Instead, it was just concerned person.
Oh, wait, no, it was a scene where before he goes into his office to talk to Tim, he kind of, like, has this face. And then he, like, puts on a fake smile. And I was like, what does this mean? Is this already the villain? Basically. I'm just
Get it out.
excited to talk about this movie. Okay, so I just have some questions.
Go ahead.
For you, as someone who is not a Pokemon fan.
Mm-hmm.
So as a non-Pokemon fan, was it easy to be immersed in this world and follow the story of Pokemon? I know that you already said that, but I'm going to ask it again just in case you had any additional information.
It was really easy to get immersed in the world. Like, I understood the Pokemon universe throughout the duration of the film. Like, I know there's so much more that I probably, like, don't understand. And their vague allusion to Pokemon battles was vague. But it doesn't really matter in the movie, so it was okay. But the rest of the world, it was really fun. I was like, I want to be in this universe.
Right? Oh my god, I want it so
told
bad.
You that one of the only messages that I sent you about the film was, I want to be a Pokemon trainer. And I don't even know what that is. Like, I want to be a Pokemon trainer.
Oh, I want to be a Pokemon trainer so bad. And maybe not. I feel like I'm not that dedicated, but
You know what? In this universe, you're not. But in that universe, you would be.
Damn. I mean, you could still have Pokemon, though, even if you're not a trainer. Like,
but I'm going to be a trainer.
Okay, yes. I believe you.
Yes.
Yeah, I know you're Actually, you would love to be a Pokemon trainer because gym leaders who sort of facilitate, like, those really big official Pokemon battles, they have, like, themes. So if, like, they have, like, a ghost Pokemon theme and then they, their gym is all decked out like a haunted house or whatever they want, you would totally be into that.
Shut the fuck up! Now I'm gonna want to be in this universe.
Dude, it's so fucking good. I see, like, it's so fun to daydream about Pokemon. Like, you don't even have to play the games or watch any of the fucking cartoons. You could just think about them and just fall in love. Oh yeah, so how did the Pokemon look to you? Did they look realistic? Were any of them, were they just, like, off-putting or anything like that?
Two that were off-putting to me. It's not because they don't look realistic, they just look out of place in the universe. Mime, he didn't look... I don't know exactly what it was. Maybe it was, like, the skin texture. He looked weird in the universe where everybody's, like, fluffy or a reptile or something like that. He just looked like a human.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Mr. Mime, I think they did a really good job. I'll probably talk about it later when we talk about his scene, but... Yeah, I think it's definitely one of the more difficult ones to pull off because Mr. Mime is so humanoid. But yeah, that's a good point. There was a lot of fluffy, furry Pokemon that were in this movie. They probably should have balanced it out with maybe some, like, rock or steel type Pokemon.
Like, for someone who doesn't know many of them, he was the most off-putting and... Well, not off-putting, just, like, strange.
Yeah.
And then oh god, when he's on the train, there's one that licks him.
Oh yeah, Lickitung.
It's so cute. It's the cutest shit ever. But it was, like, so weird because you could see so close to it and you could see its skin texture and it was like, oh,
realistic.
Interesting. You look like a tongue.
Yeah, the tongue looks like a very large tongue, which... Yes. I saw that Pokemon, not one of my favorite ones, and I was like, you know what, Rea probably would like this because of the tongue.
It's so cute.
Exactly.
And he's just, like, standing next to him, like, licking him, like, who the fuck are you? Whose Pokemon are you? You're just there, I guess. Let me adopt you.
Me personally, I think they did such a phenomenal job. I think, like, the fur, the scales, and all the skin textures are so good, and how, like, they translate these flat images of fantasy creatures into a live action movie was so fucking amazing. And they just like look so true to the original designs when they translate that, you know, because sometimes when you have to make something realistic, you have to decrease sort of the fantasy aspect of it to make it look like it would exist in real life. But like they pulled it off, and it looks really good, especially considering some of the more ridiculous and exaggerated designs, especially with like the eyes, you know, Sonic the Hedgehog movie, how they had to make the eyes more realistic, and then how that sort of translated, and you know, that was a mess. But how they did it in this movie was really fucking good.
I appreciate the fact that they didn't try to make it realistic for this world.
Yeah.
Even though some of them were weird, but I think that was just like me as a person who's never experienced Pokemon, like other than Pikachu. But it was like so much fun to like look at them, look at their designs. I wanted to hold them. That's the main point. I wanted to hold all of them.
But like even the weird ones didn't feel completely out of place in the movie, yeah? Because like the tone of the movie, I think they sort of expressed really well how weird and fantasy like everything is.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna say like Mr. Mime for me, that one was like shocking.
It's so funny. Like, it's one of my favorites.
Human. That's just a human. You guys are being mean to the human.
Yes. Oh my god. Okay, another thing. Okay, because I just so many things about this movie. Okay, but I think like the highlight of the Pokemon in this movie is their facial expressions and mannerisms, because each Pokemon moves in their own way because of their anatomy, but also like their personality and how that translates in their body language through how their body is. You know what I mean? Like I lose my shit because, okay, if you ever rewatch this movie, only look at the Pokemon and their facial expressions and body movement, because the amount of detail that they put into even the background Pokemon is just so beautiful, and I am so amazed with this movie. It's similar to how I feel about the Lego movie. I think that Detective Pikachu is a huge artistic achievement and a blueprint for CGI movies.
The Lego Batman one?
The Lego movie.
Oh.
The Lego movie, then Detective Pikachu, then maybe the Lego Batman movie, then Shazam, and then a few empty spaces, and then Power Rangers, and then Sonic the Hedgehog.
The live action one?
Yes. It's really good. There's just like all those child family friendly movies that I have like a ranking of them. Out of the Pokemon shown, did you have a favorite?
Yes.
Let me guess. Charizard?
Yes. He was so old. First of all, when he was on the R drug, I was like, oh my gosh, he's so scary. But once it wore off, he became like a little baby.
Oh my god, the pleading eyes was like, so cute.
I was like, give him to me now. And it was so funny because his human, he's a Latin American actor, and it was so weird to see him there because he's like a comedian, and I was like, what are you doing here, sir? That's my creature. He's so cute. I'm looking at a picture of him right now.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I didn't even hear you typing. Did you just have that up?
Yes, I have it up.
Okay.
Like, it's a baby. It's a baby.
My favorite Pokemon is Gengar. Obviously, if you can't tell from my 45-inch Gengar plushie, but I think I need to take a closer look at Gengar in live action, though, because they move around a lot in this movie, so it's kind of hard to see all the details, but I really liked what I saw from the little glimpses. Yeah, I mean, he just looks so creepy and ugly, and I love that. I just love that. They just look so chaotic. And I didn't realize how similar Gengar is to, like, that green ghost in the Ghostbusters. Like,
oh my god.
I saw that scene, and I was like, wait a second. I have two other favorites, but I'll bring it up when we get there. Okay, so now we can talk about the world building, which is my favorite thing about this movie. So for this section, we're basically just going to talk about the highlight scenes of world building for us. The first one is the Welcome to Rhyme City scene, which is Tim's walk through the city. So I want to point out first that they say that Rhyme City is the only region where Pokemon live amongst humans, and in other regions, Pokemon only live in the wild. I just want to clarify, especially because you are someone who's not familiar with Pokemon, I just want to clarify that Pokemon do live amongst humans, depending on their type, because if they're like rock type, they're usually in the mountains or something. But specifically, I think what Rhyme City was trying to say is that there are no battles, no trainers, and no Pokeballs, and that's what separates Rhyme City from other cities.
I need to ask you a question.
Yes.
Are Pokeballs cruel? Is that a cruel thing to do?
No.
Because of the way the film is set up, they're like making like Rhyme City like a utopia. So I was like, okay, maybe being a Pokemon trainer and using Pokeballs isn't that good. Like maybe there's some like moral conflict going on.
Yeah.
So when I sent you the message like, oh, I want to be a Pokemon trainer, I immediately was like, oh my gosh, what if that's a bad thing? And Elia is judging me now because they're not replying to me.
No, I think it's fine. I definitely think, oh my god. Okay, so I've thought a lot about R-rated Pokemon films, and I definitely think if they were ever going to do something like this, which they probably won't, one of the movies they could delve into is the animal trafficking of the Pokemon universe, because I think that would be very interesting. Because there would be, I mean, in that world where people grew up with Pokemon, I think it would be different. In our world, where like if Pokemon were just to show up right now, I mean, I just think that people would abuse the fuck out of Pokemon, which is why I'm gonna gatekeep Pokemon. If they ever come into this universe, I'd be like, you cannot have Pokemon. I just think think there are a lot of moral problems that would occur if Pokemon were to suddenly show up in this world.
Like, are they comfortable inside the Pokeball? Like, do we know that information? Yeah. Okay. Okay.
But yeah, I think about that too, because I think there would be a lot of animal abuse and trafficking and problems like that, because this world sucks.
But back to Rhyme City.
Yes, back to Rhyme City. It's this wonderful montage of this bustling city, and it shows how Pokemon live with humans in a way that is more complex than how wild and domestic animals live with us. It's such a good scene. Rhea, what are your thoughts on it?
When they're showing that montage, all I felt was like this like warmth inside of me where I wanted to be there so bad.
Yes.
It kind of feels like with Jurassic World, where you really want to be at the theme park. You really want to be there. You really want to experience that. And I was like, I want to be in Rhyme City so bad right now, and I want to have a Pokemon, and I want to be living in the city. Also, I idealize cities a lot, and I know that's bad. And there's like complexities. But anywho, I'm like, oh my gosh, a city where there's cute creatures and like life seems so nice. I would be happy doing whatever as long as I had Pokemon. But I would probably not live there because I would be a Pokemon trainer.
Yes, yeah, I understand that. I mean, I'm sure there's other cities where that can happen. Oh my god, yes. And the music, oh my god. I think it's Henry Jackman who composed the music for this. And just the Rhyme City song is so good, and it just fills me with so much happiness.
I do not remember it enough to say something, but probably.
You don't remember watch our ads, Rhea?
Oh, it's that one?
Yes.
Okay, yes. I understand now.
Mean?
I didn't know it was that song. Calm down. I don't make the ads.
Okay.
Yes, I agree. That song
is really good song. It's like the only good song that they had in this movie. Well, the only really memorable song, I should say.
You don't have to bully me.
One of my... I love everything about this sequence, but... So there's a Machamp directing traffic because there's a Snorlax sleeping in the middle of an intersection, and that is so... I cannot get over how beautiful that 1 second is in this movie.
It really shows how life is with Pokemon.
Yeah, because...
And they do it in such a natural way because everybody's, like, working around it. Like, they're not disturbed.
Like, I love how they show the amount of intelligence and autonomy that Pokemon have in this world.
Especially since one is, like, the crossing guard person who's guiding traffic around it.
Because, like, it shows that, like, they can kind of have, like, jobs, I guess. Like, because also in the Rhyme City scene, there's squirrels. There are Squirtles and firefighters putting out a fire, but that's, like, the two of them together. Meanwhile, the Machamp is just the Pokemon itself. There's no human helping them out, which, again, the amount of intelligence and autonomy that it showcases in that single second is just, so good, so good.
I feel like that moment is one of the few moments where it really shows, like, oh, Pokemon can live, like, independently without a human.
Yes.
Like, they could sustain themselves here.
Oh, ooh, okay. I also wanted to say that Rhyme City, like, they had direct influence of the neon cyberpunk look, and I really loved seeing those little glimpses in the nightlife of Rhyme City. I wish it was in it more, but it was really pretty.
A movie at night with the neon lights, and then, like, dark type, ghost type Pokemon. That would be really cool. And since this is a mystery movie directed towards kids, they can make like a horror movie directed towards kids, which would be really fun.
I want a really scary horror movie, though. I want a really scary horror movie.
I know, but
Pokemon,
this is a franchise that's probably
more
directed towards kids rather than you.
But, like, could you imagine... Oh my god, could you imagine an R-rated Pokemon film? Rea, when I do that video and show you the ghost Pokemon, you are gonna understand why it needs to be R-rated because it's just the material, the possibilities. I need it so bad. Anyways, so also not one of the main world building scenes, but I also wanted to point out, because you mentioned this in the Birds of Prey episode, how the marketplace is like essential for world building. And I mean, it's a very short glimpse of it, but I liked it. And I love how you can see like the Octillery, which is like this huge octopus looking Pokemon serving food in the stands. I thought that was really nice.
I don't remember anything else from that scene, but I remember the octopus.
Yes,
so funny.
Yeah. I think that's the standout of the scene, because it wasn't I think the dialogue between Detective Pikachu and Tim was probably more of the focus rather than the marketplace itself. But yeah, the Octillery really stood out to me. Okay, so the Mr. Mime interrogation.
I can tell you're so excited for this.
I'm so excited for this scene. I love how, oh my god, the Mr. Mime scene is like god tier, and the fact that it transitions into the roundhouse is just, it's beautiful. I love it. Okay, so Mr. Mime looks so realistic, and I know that you find it very off-putting. I also find it off-putting, but like, I am going wild over the design because it's so fucking good. I love that like the balls on Mr. Mime have the texture of playground balls. I think that really fits the Pokemon because it's supposed to be a very playful character. I just think that was such a good artistic decision, and oh my god, I love that about it. And also like
it was such a funny scene.
It was so funny. I love how they utilized Mr. Mime's like moves, like how they did the invisible wall. You know, I just oh my god, I love the little things about this movie, dude.
I felt like this moment was really like important for Justice Smith's character, Tim, because it's like when he starts taking charge and making decisions for himself, because he's the one that's able to communicate with Mr. Mime rather than Pikachu, which is funny because Pikachu's a Pokemon. Yeah, but it was really funny. And then he gets so into it. Justice Smith was so good in that moment.
Yes. Oh my god. He did a really good job.
The way he interacts with these CGI animations, and when they're not there, he's really good at it.
Yeah, he's really so fucking good at it. So fucking good. I can't believe him. He did a good job.
Like, wow. This scene, it seems like, I don't even know, like, you seem like such a cool person and actor. Like, you should be in more things. Anywho.
I agree. I can't wait for him to get, like, a lead role in something that really showcases his acting skills. Yeah, I also, oh my god. Also, like, the white body of Mr. Mime is, like, it's, like, chalky, which also, like, plays into the playground theme that he has. And, like, you can see, like, the creases of him. Yes, dude! I literally just paused the movie and just, like, look at Pokemon because it's so fucking good. And then Pikachu's facial expression in this scene is also so fucking good because, like, he just gets so aggravated and, like, they did such a good job animating this. I can't, Rea. It's just so good. I can't. Okay, and then also, this scene, similar to the Machamp scene directing traffic, this scene was really important in showing the intelligence and autonomy of Pokemon, because this Pokemon who does not speak, I mean, like, yeah, he mimes, but they have the autonomy to be a detective's source. Like, they can comprehend information and also translate information to humans. And I just think that was just the choice to have Mr. Mime in this movie and show that to the audience was just really, really great, Rhea. I can't, I'm just so excited. Everything about this movie. Like, I need to calm down. Okay, and then this scene transitions
to the best scene of the movie.
The best scene of the fucking movie.
It's so good.
Do you only think it's the best scene because it's Charizard, or do you genuinely think it's a good scene?
I think it's a good scene too. It's really, it shows a different side of Rhyme City that people still desire, and maybe like introduces a future movie when we discuss what is the meaning of all this and why some people find Pokemon battles distasteful and why other people don't. It introduces a cool concept, but my baby's in the scene, so I gotta appreciate it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I love how the screenwriter set it up to where we first get a glimpse of what a Pokemon battle would look like, and then it follows up with a failed Pokemon battle between Charizard and Pikachu. But like that little glimpse, like, it's enough to where we know what Pokemon battles look like, and then also sets up for future films.
I wish we got to see one Pokemon battle. I was so excited. I thought we were gonna get it.
I know.
And then Omar Chaparro, the actor, gives my child a drug, and I was so angry. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, how dare you?
I love everything about this scene. This is one of my favorite scenes. I love just, oh my god, I love how, like, it's distant music and people lining up to get in, and then it transitions to the Loudred's blasting music and like the hype of the crowd.
Oh, that was so cool.
Fucking good. Like, that transition is so good.
Cool. Every single time those little creatures that made music, I don't know their name, came up, I was like, that's such a cool idea.
Yes.
That's so cool.
Yes, I love, again, like, the world building. They could very much not have Loudred's playing music. They could just have speakers. But, like, the fact that these screenwriters or whoever was involved in choosing what Pokemon to use for this movie, like, they really dug deep and tried to utilize Pokemon as much as possible. And I really appreciate that. I have no idea if they're Pokemon fans as well, but just like the amount of research and dedication and just care that they put into this movie, I just really love it.
It was really good. Yeah, I agree. Also, this scene was really funny to me because when I saw it, I pointed to the screen. I felt like that Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he was pointing at something, and I was like, Gengar! I know you!
That's
like,
great.
I know what. Because Elia fucking is obsessing over you every single day.
Yes, I love Gengar. Oh my god, such a playful and adorable character. So chaotic. I can't wait to tell you about Gengar, dude. Okay. I know this is what you want to talk about, so let's talk about Charizard. And then there was silence.
I giggled.
Oh, I was like, I'm shocked. Why isn't there screaming?
I was giggling, so I leaned away from the microphone.
Oh my god. Charizard looks so fucking good.
It's so cool.
I love,
like,
oh my god.
God. I want to rewatch the movie just for him.
I love how they did the skin, the scaly texture of Charizard in comparison to like how dragons are usually portrayed in live action.
Yes, I was literally about to say that. Like, it looks like a dragon, and it's like a baby. There's tears in my eye. I'm looking at the picture.
Oh my god. Rhea, can you the skin texture of Charizard in this film is similar more to like it's like how would I say, like cracked ground, you know what I mean? And as opposed to like layered scales, right?
It looks more like a crocodile.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
I was like, what animal looks like that?
Yeah, it's very crocodile. And I'm just like, okay, Something that I find really cool is that its wings, I don't know if it's transparent or there's heat in the wings, but there's like little glowing points that contrast with the blue of it. And I was just like, whoa, what is that?
Yes. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, and then talking about like mannerisms of Pokemon, I love this. I love Charizard and their Pokemon trainer because like, oh my god, just like my heart melts every time I see it because okay, so there's a point where the roundhouse owner, he doesn't really have a name, but the roundhouse owner like approaches Tim and he tries to act tough and assert his dominance, and you like see that attitude in his Charizard, and you just like see how in sync a Pokemon can be with their Pokemon trainer. And I really love that scene, and it just like it melts my heart every time because I'm like, that's so cute. What the fuck? I want that so bad.
I'm not even joking.
I love
I want one.
Specifically when he says, "Your Pikachu ruined my coat," and then the Charizard bends down to rub against the coat and then glare at Pikachu. I'm just like, that really just, oh my god, the behaviorisms of the Pokemon in this movie. Oh my god, it's just so fucking good. I just want to hug every person who was an artist and worked on this film because it's just so good. I can't even express my love for this movie. Anyways, I just love how in sync the Charizard was with their Pokemon trainer, and yeah, it'd be great if I could have a bond like that with my cat or something. I mean, we do have a bond, but definitely not as in sync.
It's not like that.
Not like this at all. Oh, yes, okay. And then, okay, also, facial expressions in that interaction. When Charizard and Pikachu have a stare down, and, like, Pikachu's body language is so good. They are so expressive with their emotions. The Pokemon battles itself, like Blastoise versus Gengar, that looks really fucking cool to see those Pokemon moves in live action. And just like the crowd hype. I would love to be in a Pokemon battle, dude. I think that'd be so fucking cool. Actually, I take that back. I would be terrified of failure. Never mind. I would be terrified of failure. I don't want to do that. But I would still go to a battle arena and cheer people on because oh my god. The crowd screaming Gengar was just...
That was really cool. That was really cool.
Yeah, this was really cool. And then the Gyarados washing away Tim, Pikachu, and Charizard. Just like the transformation, the evolution, seeing that on screen, that was really cool. And just like seeing how huge this Pokemon is in real life, that was great. And I love the texture of that Pokemon too. Oh my god. Just, again, really good VFX. The next scene is also my favorite scene. These are all my favorite scenes, actually. So, the lab / Greninja fight / Torterra garden.
This scene... it was interesting, but for some reason it didn't catch my attention as much.
Really?
Except for when the Torterra gardens part starts. I thought that was really cool.
Oh, really? I loved the Greninja fight. That actually... I didn't really care about Greninja before, but after seeing this scene, I love them. I think it's so... What a cool Pokemon. I love how when they first enter the lab, they use a lot of themes of horror in this scene, and I really loved that. Did you notice that in the movie or no? No, it was... Okay, so there's a specific part where... Lucy she has her phone light on and she's like looking around, and then the door of one of the Greninja cages slowly opens up, and then like the hand pops out, and it's like supposed to imitate, you know, that stereotypical horror. Yeah. And then also like the part where there's like Greninja saliva or slime or whatever frogs have on the ground, and then like Tim like looks up and then like sees Lucy being held by like a Greninja.
Oh yes.
Yeah, there's just, I really love how they utilized horror themes in that scene.
I don't know why I didn't like it. I should have liked it.
I'm very surprised.
Maybe I need to rewatch it and appreciate it again. Maybe I got distracted by something else, but I'm like, I didn't appreciate it that much.
You definitely should, and also look at Pokemon.
I should
Stare at their facial expressions. in body language because it's really good. Especially Pikachu is so cute. I fell in love with the scene to the point where I just love Greninja now. I think that, yeah. A really small detail about this scene, I really love how Tim holds Lucy's hand and then lets go of it when they're running. Because, you know, this movie is setting up for them to be into each other, but it doesn't follow that annoying trope of
I'm gonna die for you.
Main character, and you know, and like they hold hands and they continue holding hands while they're running, because like that is so inconvenient. I hate that that's a trope.
Yeah, especially since you don't have like a very established emotional bond towards him. Like, why would you hold somebody's hand and let them possibly slow you down? Like, yeah, I will let go of you and I will run past you.
It's such a small detail, but I just appreciated that they didn't use that fucking trope in this movie. And then that transitions into the scene where Psyduck uses
that was a cool scene. I like that.
The Greninja.
Yeah, because of what I said earlier. Like, I thought Psyduck was gonna die. So it was really like a relief for me. Oh my gosh, I think that's why I wasn't annoyed by him, because I thought he was gonna die and I was like, oh, he's gonna die soon.
That's so funny. That's so funny. Rhea, I can't believe you watch this movie like, oh my god, this Pokemon is constantly on the brink of exploding, R-rated in front of our eyes.
They don't explain it until it happens, so... And all they used to say is like, oh, he's gonna explode, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's gonna explode.
Pokemon can be knocked out after using up all their energy in battles or like stuff, like, you know, Pikachu was dying. But no, they don't explode that way. My only nitpick with that specific scene is that, I mean, like, even if Psyduck directed that psychic move towards Greninja, that blast should have impacted Tim, Lucy, and Pikachu.
It should have.
That's the only thing I want to say. Yeah, but I mean, like, it's fine. I get it. It's fine.
Unless there's like some scientific reason why Psyduck can't direct its explosion to specific people or in an area.
Yes, actually. So I was looking into it because I'm not as knowledgeable in terms of like Pokemon statistics, but certain types of Pokemon aren't effective against other types of Pokemon. So the psychic move actually should not have been effective against Greninja, because I think it's because it's a dark type, but people were saying that maybe it wasn't a psychic move, maybe it was disable, which is a common type move for Pokemon, or because it was a regional Greninja and certain regions have different characteristics, and therefore that's why Psyduck was able to use a psychic move on the Greninja. But yes, canonically, in the Pokemon world, there are scientific reasons as to why some Pokemon moves aren't effective against certain types.
Okay.
Or are more effective on the flip side. Yeah, very, very nerdy stuff that I personally don't have a lot of knowledge on. So thank you, Reddit, for all that information. Okay. The Totara Garden.
That was so cool. That was so
fucking cool. The gasp that I had while watching this movie, because I was like, what the fuck is going on right now?
It was like, once the earthquake started, I understood that it was the Toteras. And I was like, oh, they're big ones. Like, it makes sense because everything's so exaggerated in the lab. Why is the Toteras in the lab so boring? And then I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
So boring.
Because they were just there. So I was like, when it starts shaking, I was like, I kept on saying, like, why don't you guys realize it? Like, think for 1 second. They're Toteras. Like, get off their backs.
Yeah, and they also utilized Pikachu saying, this is the Totara Garden to to the audience. Yeah. And I love the detail of when Tim and Lucy are first in the lab, when they see the regular-sized Torterras, the movie has the Torterras move and readjust themselves to justify the enhanced Torterras moving and causing an earthquake. I just love that small detail, you know? So that people can't nitpick this movie. They like make sure that they have these little scenes to justify things that happen later on in the movie. Yes, I love the innovation of this scene because like they took every opportunity to make this movie as thrilling and whimsical as possible, while also following the lore of this very complicated franchise. Because they could have very much made a very basic Pokemon movie, but they found a way to make this whole ass earthquake scene and have it actually fit within the context of the movie.
So fucking smart and creative.
I know, right? The tools were there and they just used it, and I'm just, oh, so good, so good.
More movies.
This movie was so great for me because so many of my favorite Pokemon, well, not my favorite, but the Pokemon that I am most connected to were utilized in this movie. Like, Torterra was one of my starter Pokemons when I played Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. So it was just so perfect that they had such a highlight in this movie.
I want to know more. I want to be able to look at Pokemon and recognize them by sight.
Just go on the Wikipedia and then read all the little fun information. Some Pokemon have really, really interesting backstories and powers that I'm sure you would love to look into.
Bet.
Oh, I can't wait to show you for the video.
I'm so excited. I'm really excited for it.
The magical Bulbasaur scene.
It was cute. It was cute.
Yeah. It's a very emotional scene.
Yeah.
And I really love it. When Lucy says he doesn't know what you're saying, and then Tim says, but he knows what I'm feeling. And I was like, oh no,
That was
this is
very...
how I feel with my cat. I was like, oh no, I'm gonna start crying.
That was really cute. Justice Smith did a good really job. Cute. I was getting emotional.
Yeah.
I think this is the emotional scene for me. Yeah. Nothing else really did it for me.
Wow.
But that line was really cute.
Mm-hmm. And then also when Justice Smith says, I don't want to lose them too.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. Broke my fucking heart.
God. And it's such a good moment because he's been holding himself distant from, like,
I know.
everything. And now we see him, like, he has allowed himself to be vulnerable and he wants to keep it. He doesn't want to lose it. Oh, Justice Smith. Good job.
You did a really good job. You've convinced me to be extremely emotional in this movie. I wasn't expecting the really heavy emotions.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to another really great scene. That's one of my favorites also. The Ditto bodyguard revelation scene.
Okay, so...
okay. As someone who is not familiar with Pokemon at all, how easy was it to follow this scene?
It was pretty easy to follow. I understood it really quickly. But I wanted to say that the bodyguard, when the bodyguard's a woman, I was like, oh my god, I'm going to message Elia about them because they're so attractive. And then it's revealed it's a fucking Pokemon. I was like, damn it. No hot women in this movie.
Catherine Newton's cute.
She's cute. I said hot.
Okay, whatever. No, yeah, the roller coaster of emotions I felt during that revelation, because I immediately was like, oh my god, it's a Ditto. And they took off the glasses and, like, I knew it was gonna happen, but I still screamed because I was like, what the fuck, that's terrifying.
And I like the fact that they introduced the Ditto very early on in the movie. But, like, it's in the background, so you don't realize it or focus on it a lot. Like, there's a part where Howard Clifford and his son are doing an interview, and his son turns around, and he's like, oh, you think your Pokemon's so cool, Dad? But, like, right before that scene, we see the bodyguard transform into something else, and you're like, oh, that's his Pokemon. But you don't think about it until this moment again.
Yeah, I think it's a really great misdirect. They cannot use it again in any of the future films, but I think this one was well used and well deserved. It was so good. I don't know. I don't think there's been a lot of really good plot twists in movies nowadays, but this one was that was such a really good misdirect, dude. I also wanted to say that, yes, canonically, Ditto can transform into anything, both living and inanimate objects, and they can also turn into humans. And I also wanted to say that the Ditto fight scene really overshadows the fight with Mewtwo.
Yeah.
I think the fight with Mewtwo is really underwhelming in comparison
to
the Ditto scene. I think maybe if they didn't happen at the same time, it would be different, but I mean, just the Ditto scene is just so fucking good that, you know, the fight with Mewtwo is like nothing.
It was I was going to mention it later, but I was like, I was not impressed by Mewtwo in the fight scene.
Yeah. Especially because Mewtwo's, like, you know, such a powerful legendary
Yeah.
Pokemon. It was kind of, like, underwhelming. The screenwriter utilized Pokemon to their maximum capacity, except for Mewtwo.
Yeah, which is so weird.
I guess, yeah. I guess maybe they didn't want to make Mewtwo overpowered because then it'd be kind of bleh. But, like, that's the truth, though.
Yeah.
Mewtwo is very overpowered.
That's, like, the entire point of the movie, that Mewtwo is super fucking powerful.
And I love the Mewtwo's design. I think they looked really great in live action.
Kind of looked like a bald cat.
Hey.
What?
No.
It did, though.
The hairless cats are ugly.
Well, it looked like one.
Someone's gonna cancel me for that. I'm sorry, I don't like hairless cats. Yeah, historically, what's really interesting is that Mewtwo has always been referred to with gender-neutral pronouns, and for this movie, they actually had a man and a woman voice act for Mewtwo, and then they overlapped the audio to keep that androgyny. But also, in this movie, they used he/him pronouns for Mewtwo, so... Yeah, I know, I was like, we could have had it all, but then he used he/him pronouns. I mean, maybe Mewtwo is non-binary.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, like, maybe it's just... I guess.
But I'm inclined to believe that that's not the thought process that
no, they wouldn't have done that.
Because they're not that knowledgeable about non-binary people. But, I mean, I do appreciate the fact that they overlapped the voice acting for Mewtwo.
I was actually going to say, like, I really like their voice. So it's cool to know that.
And I also just want to note that when I say that, it's very binary because it follows the idea that women's voices have a higher pitch and men's have a lower pitch. And I just want to acknowledge that to clarify that for our audience, that we know that that's a very binary concept. But I do liked that they tried to make Mewtwo androgynous. Before we talk about the last thing for our Detective Pikachu discussion, I want to say that this part is going to be a really huge spoiler for the movie, and I highly recommend this movie. I think that has really good plot twists, and you should watch it. So if you haven't watched this movie yet, you should stop now, at least, because we've already spoiled so much. So now we can talk about the fact that Detective Pikachu is Henry Goodman.
Yep.
Did it catch you off guard at all, or did you figure it out?
And I have to say...
You figured it out?
Yeah, very early on, and I have to say it was my least favorite part of the movie.
Really?
Yep, I did not like it.
You didn't like the concept of it?
I don't like the concept of it. I don't like that trope of a parent having to become another creature in order to bond with their child and for the child to accept it.
Oh, that's fair.
And it's like, okay. And I kept on getting bothered by it because I caught it early on. So I was like, every single time they would interact, I was like, ugh, stop.
That's so interesting. I did not figure that out early on. And I cried.
You cried?
Yeah, dude, I cried every time I watched it. It's just so sad. I loved that his arc was that he wanted to be a Pokemon trainer, and then he withdrew from it after his mother's death. And, like, he slowly connected back with it through Detective Pikachu, and then also indirectly connecting with his father the whole time. Which, I guess, on the flip side, that's kind of shitty to utilize, you know? Absent parents connecting with their child without their knowledge, I guess.
Like, okay. Especially since Justice was... I'm not Justice. I keep on calling him by the actor's name. Since Tim obviously did not want to interact with his dad, and he was very, like, emotionally distanced from the fact that his dad died. It just felt weird that he was forced to interact with him. I didn't like it. It just made me feel weird.
No, I loved that revelation. Bro, I literally gasped and I turned to my friend and I was like, and then we were like both staring at each other.
Oh my god. Wait, so you didn't realize it until the very end?
No, it totally slipped my mind.
Whoa.
It totally slipped my mind.
That's really shocking to me. Like, the fact that you didn't catch it is really shocking to me. You were so into the world that you did not see any clues that they were setting up.
Exactly. The entire universe was a good misdirect from that very simple plot twist.
Earlier you mentioned how you like the dynamic Ryan Reynolds and Justice Smith have. Uh-huh. And I agree, they have a really good dynamic. But only when Ryan Reynolds is not there. When he appears, it became so awkward for some reason. And I understand that scene is supposed to be awkward, like, but it was very awkward.
Yeah, but the chemistry isn't
It didn't
there.
feel the same as when when he wasn't present.
I think it's because the dialogue is definitely limited.
Yeah.
Like, there's none of that casual, comfortable banter between them. This is very much like a, you're my father.
Yeah.
And I have to talk
true.
to you.
That's true. And I feel like once they knew, it was like, oh, that's my son and that's my dad. The fun...
They had to change the dynamic.
The fun dynamic that they had is over.
Listen, buddy, a parent and child can still have that dynamic
Apparently
together.
not. No. Well, maybe they will get to that. It's just...
Yeah, maybe they will get to that point.
It's obviously they've been distanced for so long.
Yeah.
Because of misunderstandings, but...
I think it would be worse, though, if they did continue that banter. Right? Don't you think? Because then it would justify the fact that they bonded.
It was just
through a Pokemon.
Weird because, like, we had so much fun, and then all of a sudden it's like Ryan Reynolds is awkwardly standing there with his white self, just like, hello, son.
Did you say with his white self?
Yeah.
Rhea. So, Rhea, what are your overall thoughts on Detective Pikachu?
It was a really fun movie. I don't think I love it to the level that you do, but I really enjoyed it, like, a lot. Like, I could rewatch it right now and I would be happy.
I also, I was very surprised with how much I loved this movie. I was expecting a, like, Sonic the Hedgehog level movie, which, you know, I liked Sonic, but definitely not as much as this. I would recommend it to people, not just children, you know, just everybody. I think it's a really good movie. Speaking of children, my sister doesn't think any of them are cute other than Pikachu.
What the fuck?
Right? I was like, because she didn't watch it with me in theater, so when I bought the DVD, I was like, hey, you want to watch it? And then she was like saying how, like, they're ugly and creepy.
What?
And I was like, what do you mean?
Even, like, the traditionally cute ones?
Yeah,
What?
she only liked Pikachu. I was like, what are you talking about?
That doesn't make sense. They're lying to you.
I
They're
know.
lying to you.
She's not lying. So, we actually have a listener mail that I'm going to read. This was sent in by Rox. She, her pronouns. Thank you for sending this in. Hi, Elia and Rhea. Yesterday, I watched a movie that Elia never stops talking about, Detective Pikachu. I cried. Something about this yellow electric ball of fur had me emotionally invested. Also, the production was really great. LMAO. Now, I have never seen an episode of Pokemon, never played any Pokemon games, never seen a Pokemon card. Is there any other type of Pokemon content? I wouldn't know. In fact, I still don't know what a Pokemon is, but I know I like these little things.
That's exactly how I feel.
When I was 1 year old, I was given a plushie of a blue bird and slept with it for 12 years, only to find out it's actually a Pokemon.
Rocks. That's hilarious.
That's so funny. Oh my god. They put in parentheses Piplup. It's this penguin Pokemon.
Oh my god.
Basically, thank you, Elia, for never stopping to talk about your interests, because even someone with no connection to things may appreciate it. They sent 3 little hearts, big love, rocks.
I agree with what they said. With the, like, I don't even know what a Pokemon is, but I like these little creatures. Exactly how I feel.
I love that she slept and still has this plushie of Piplup for 12 years.
That's so hilarious to me. Like, you would expect at least, because even though I don't know what this Pokemon is, for some reason I have an image in my head, so I feel like I've seen it before. Does it have like a little bow? Maybe it's not the one I'm thinking about.
I wouldn't necessarily call it a bow.
Oh yes, it is the one I'm talking about.
Okay. No, yeah, that's really funny. They just thought it was like a funky looking
That's so funny.
funky looking penguin.
That's hilarious. I love it.
So closing time. Oh wait. Actually, did you want to Never mind.
What?
Nothing.
What? You have to
Nothing.
say I
So
get
thank
annoyed
you
when
for
you do this to me.
listening-
Just say
thank you for listening to
it.
Labyrinth of Bizarre. You can listen to Labyrinth anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Stop! Just say what you were gonna say.
No, I just think it's really funny that we forgot it again. So I'm just gonna let us forget it.
What did we
again.
forget?
for the 7th time. It doesn't matter because we forgot, so it doesn't matter. So thank you for listening to
Hello?
Labyrinth of the Bazaar. You can listen to
I don't appreciate this.
Stop speaking. I'm trying to close.
You don't close.
Actually,
I'm
you're supposed to
closing.
close.
That's why I'm asking you.
Close. Ask me
What did we forget?
We didn't forget anything.
Elia.
We didn't forget anything.
I hate you.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Keep going.
I really fucking hate you. Thank you for listening to Labyrinth of the Bazaar. You can listen to Labyrinth anywhere you listen to podcasts. You can watch Detective Pikachu on HBO Max or rent the movie online. You can send us thoughts and stories with the movies and things we talk about at goldenlyres@gmail.com. It's golden, LYRES, @gmail.com. You can also follow us on our Twitter at LabyrinthPod for updates and behind-the-scenes content. Show your support for our podcast by rating us on Apple Podcasts and letting people know about us on social media and sharing with your friends. Labyrinth of the Bazaar recognizes that we live and work on stolen land. Elia and Rea record in different areas of California. We tried looking for the correct pronunciation online, but none of the websites or resources we found had the same pronunciation, and it was all over the place. So we're going to link some things in our show notes, but we live in the territories of the Ramaytush and the Yokuts peoples. Thank you for listening to Labyrinth of the Bazaar. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.
So, Rhea, do you want to know what we forgot?
Yes.
So, for the past 7 episodes, we've been meaning to be like, what have you been consuming lately, or what have you been doing lately? And then we forgot it again.
We don't have 7 episodes, Elia.
This is our 7th.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, this is the 7th time we forgot it.
Okay, that's funny.
We just keep forgetting to do it, which is really funny. And good luck to future us. Hopefully we remember it next time.
We'll try.